Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, tonight, don't miss at 10 p.m. Eastern, prime time live. My guest will be Mike from around the world. Now, everybody better grab some coffee and calm down. This might be the most important interview I've ever done with Mike from around the world in 5 years. A new study, a new information just released an hour ago. What is the odds of this? 1 hour ago, on the very night that I'm going to come back. I've been taking a break. Everyone knows I've taken the last 4 or 5 days off, and Heidi's been doing the shows, and it's been phenomenal. And I've been sleeping about 10, 12 hours a day, really getting some rest, playing a little golf, and having some fun visiting my family out here in California. But tonight I will be doing the show live at 10 p.m. Eastern. This is probably, I'm going to tell you now, probably the most important interview with Mike from around the world ever done in the last 5 years. There's a report just released. Merging neutron stars have made an unstoppable jet, and it's moving at nearly the speed of light. Folks, get this. On August the 17th, 2017, a cosmic signal arrived at Earth that would forever change how we view the universe. Do you guys remember what that date is? August 17th, 2017. That's the day of the arrival of the first of the 5 waves of energy. Mike around the world told us that day was coming. Months before it did, he said, Paul, watch for August 17th. He said it to us live in an interview. That day came. A wave of energy hit that was so unbelievable that Dutch Sense and Dabu both recording it, putting it on the screen. We talked about it. It was certainly scientifically confirmed. Since then, we've had a second wave and recently a third wave back in November the 9th, November the 11th of this past year, December of 2018. Well, on August 17, 2017, a cosmic signal arrived at Earth that would forever change how we view the universe. Over 100 million years prior to that, 2 neutron stars bound together in a distant galaxy called NGC 4993 finished inspiring and merged together, creating a stupendous a stupendous cosmic explosion. And when it did, the event is now known as a kilonova. You heard me, kilonova. And it's thought to be responsible for the creation of the heaviest elements present throughout the universe. Now, the inspiral and merger created 2 signals that were able to detect practically simultaneously the gravitational waves, the 5 waves of energy, detectable with the LIGO and Virgo and electromagnetic radiation or light across the full suite of wavelengths we're able to observe. Matter of fact, but there's something else emitted there. And today, in a new paper just published in Science, the scientists determined that an enormous jet was produced. It's still moving at nearly the speed of light, okay? And it's not a surprise that an event like this would produce something so energetic that these neutron stars themselves are some of the most extreme objects you can imagine. Imagine taking an object as massive as the sun or even greater and compressing it down into a ball about the size of a major city like Chicago. It would be like an enormous atomic nucleus with the inner of 90% of it simply a ball of solid neutrons, hence the name a neutron star. On their own, a neutron star can spin so fast, up to about 2/3 the speed of light, that they create the largest known magnetic field in the universe. Hundreds of millions of times as strong as any magnet on Earth, and a quadrillion times stronger than the Earth's magnetic field. As far as we know, if you were to make a neutron star any denser, it would collapse down into a black hole. So what does this all mean? Well, we have observed, they said in 2017, Even more spectacular than a neutron star on its own, we observed the inspiral and merger of two of these objects. Before the merger took place, we knew that these two neutron stars, each a little more massive than our sun, were locked into a binary orbit. As they moved about their mutual center of mass, they emitted gravitational waves, the 5 waves of energy, radiating energy waves as their orbits became tighter and tighter, releasing these gravitational waves. In the initial instance, the radiation increased in both amplified and in frequency, and then they reached the most crucial moment of all: the surfaces touched. In a tiny fraction of a second, their densities increased past the critical threshold, and a runaway nuclear reaction took place where they contacted one another, and all at once the event known as a Kilonova occurred. Less than 2 seconds after this, gravitational waves reached their strongest spike was seen in the electromagnetic spectrum by NASA's Gamma Ray Observatory. This event, known as a gamma ray burst, was first one ever correlated with the neutron star merger. And so it's released these waves of energy. And these waves of energy are wreaking havoc, creating a cosmic disturbance of a biblical proportion. And when Jesus said that in the last days the heavens would shake and the stars would fall from heaven like a fig tree casting its untimely figs when it's shaken of a mighty wind, and that the heavens would roll back like a scroll, and every mountain and every island would be moved out of its places on the planet, and men would cry for the rocks and mountains to hide them from the face of him who sits on the throne. Yes, we are talking about doomsday, the last days, the end of time. And as a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, it is my job to tell you, to warn you, to be a true watchman, not a little patsy, little puppet in the pulpit, some little playboy in the presbytery. To the padded pew parishioners, don't worry about the power of God's amazing, majestic, magnificent university created, but to understand that God's bringing it all to a conclusion for a reason. The reason is that you could live in the light, to live in the glory, to live in the radiancy of his love, only through accepting the blood of his Son, Jesus Christ. Tonight is the night where, if you've ever in your life wanted to hear what's going on in the heavens and why the biblical truths of the Bible are causing the heavens to shake and the earth to quake and your mind to ache, and even the devil's back to break, tonight's the night. Mike from around the world will join me live at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 10 p.m. Eastern on the coming apocalypse. Prime time live. Right here also on this YouTube channel. Don't miss it tonight, guys, whatever you do. Cancel whatever you were going to do and make sure you're here live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Are you serious? I am very serious.